What's up guys, TechRubs here, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys why the new AirPods from Apple sucks. So I'm going to give you some reasons why you shouldn't buy it. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to not buy it, but here's the reasons why you should consider other wireless headphones. So the first reason is that these headphones, probably my biggest concern is that you cannot change the volume when you're listening to music. The only way to do that is to use Siri. So you have to tap on the headphone on one of them, and then you have to talk to Siri and tell her to raise the volume by 20%, 50%. So you cannot do it manually, which I think is a huge issue because it takes longer than to just having to press a button. So that's really a big concern. Second reason why you shouldn't buy it is the fact that the the case that comes with it, you can only charge the case with a lightning cable. So you cannot use a USB cable or a USB-C since the new MacBooks have it. So you can only use a lightning cable to charge the new case for the AirPods. And now the case is used to charge them, so if you carry down with the case, it already charges once it's inside. So again, there's only lightning port. So you have to always have the port with you. Third reason, they look awkward. To be honest, they just look like they took the wires off the regular earpods and just made them look like this. In reality, that's not true, but everyone who sees it from a distance thinks that you actually did it. So in terms of looks, I think that's a huge downside to it. And you can see the battery here. You can get more than 24 hours of battery life with the charging case. Although that may seem that's true, but with the new MacBooks, Apple promised to give up to 10 hours of battery life, but most people are getting 7, even 6 hours of battery life. So it's nowhere near what Apple promised. Now this is a first generation product. This is the first generation of AirPods. So it's most likely not going to have that great battery life in the charging case, as well as the battery life on the AirPods themselves. So you can see up to 5 hours, but you probably will get around 4 hours or something. Now there are some good sides to this as well, but we'll get to that later in the video. Now I want to show you guys the price of these. So if you live in the USA, you have to pay $160 for these headphones, and you're paying this much for a pair of wireless headphones, but what do you do if you lose them? You're basically done. If you wasted $160 on wireless headphones. Now, if you live in other countries, for example, if you live in Canada, it is actually $220 Canadian dollars. That is just absolutely crazy. And you can see here that it says it ships within 4 weeks. So you can see they're already being delayed. So if you haven't ordered yours already, it's not going to be here for Christmas if you're going to give it as a gift to anyone. So let's get to some reasons why you should buy this. Why you should buy the AirPods. Now, first of all, my favorite thing is going to be the W3 chip that is integrated in these AirPods. Now, you do have to have iOS 10 running on your device. If you have anything below, that's not going to work. You have to use the conventional way of connecting it. So if you have iOS 10 and you got the AirPods, you can easily just connect it by opening up the case. So I thought that was a really, really neat feature for the AirPods. Now, another thing I really like is the quality of it. the quality, the sound quality. I was able to test out the pre-production models, and I have to say that the quality was up to Apple's standards. There are, I didn't really compare it with the AirPods, but I felt like they were a little bit better. But is is the sound quality going to justify the $170 you're going to spend on these AirPods? That's up to you to decide. But for me, definitely not. So I'm gonna show you guys some alternative options here from Apple's website. So Beats X, if we can actually find it. Um, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. So we go here, categories. We go and choose headphones and speakers. So the Beats X headphones are not here yet. There we go. Beats X earphones. Now, I think, in my opinion, these do have connected wires, but they still look better. I mean, they don't look better, but there's a less chance of losing them because they're not just separated. And they're also a little bit cheaper, $150, and they come in two different colors. So I personally like the black one to match with my matte black 7 Plus. I think it's going to be a really cool combination. So I'm personally going to be getting the Beats X earphones, which are not coming out until February. So, if you were considering the AirPods, I highly recommend considering these ones as well. So at least wait and compare these two. I will have a full review coming up for you guys when I receive my AirPods as well as the Beats X, which I will order when they become available. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, all the point of this video was to make sure that you make the right decision, and you don't just go out and buy it, because of course it is a first generation product. um, the problems gonna have just gonna come later. No one's gonna notice it right now because the only people that had it were reviewers who had the pre-production models. And if you're wondering why they were so long like delayed, was because of the connectivity issue and stock. So they couldn't stock these because it was hard for them to make like a million of these or 100,000 of these. So it was pretty hard, and it was their first generation. So yeah, so if you're wondering, you can just consider this one. This one, I believe, the sound quality, I haven't tested on this one. It's not out yet, but the AirPods are pretty good. Now, if you want, there are some cheaper options as well, but I highly recommend the Beats X, which I believe is going to be the better option. Now, of course, you got your good old, well, not good old, their new Lightning connector earpods. So, you can always use that for $30. Anyways, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I will upload pretty cool videos on tech stuff, anything. And if you would like to see some other types of videos, make sure to comment down below. And if you have any questions about this product, make sure to ask me down in the comments and I will get to you. Peace.